Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. This is John Galt speaking, here with a live stream video for you guys. Someone sent me a contribution this week and requested for me to take the basic TPS template that I created a couple live streams back, jerry rigging in some of the Lyra animations, and they want me to do a couple videos showing adding more to it. They didn't really specify what they wanted to see added. So I get free reign, right? I get to choose what we're going to add to this, how we're going to add it, how much cussing gets to be involved in it, and, all that cool stuff. So I'll go ahead and drop the link in chat for you guys. This is a link to my Google Drive, which I have currently open here. And this is a shared folder, so everything in here is shared. You guys have access to this. What you're looking for specifically is this one called TPS Starter Zip, okay? And that's just a little project that I put together and gave away for you guys. And so we're going to add some stuff to this. And by the way, guys, the only way that videos get made generally on this YouTube channel is via contributions, right? So if there's something that you want to see or a topic that you want me to talk about or something like that, the only way that happens is if a contribution gets made. I don't usually put a minimum on it, but, $10 for an hour video, I think is pretty fair. So if any of you guys would like to request something to be seen, that's how you do it. But before you do it, always email me and ask me what it is that you want to see, and I will reply back to your email and let you know whether I will or will not make the video. Okay? Because sometimes, guys, some people ask things that are impossible to cover in a single video. And, they want to make their $10 contribution, and it would take 10 videos of an hour each to cover what it is that they're asking to see done. And you guys know that's not reasonable, right? So $10, about an hour. And then sometimes there's things that I don't know nothing about that they want to see done. And then there's sometimes people ask things that I've already covered and it's already on my YouTube page somewhere. So I generally send them back a link to the video that contains it. And then sometimes I just don't want to do it, right? Like I literally just don't want to do it. So you guys know that I'm not as quote unquote in to the game dev stuff as I used to be once upon a time. I've kind of moved on and, I don't really do this as much anymore. Okay. And so with that, what we're going to do is first we're going to kind of cover what this template is that I've gave away for free. So if you guys use that link in chat to download this is what you're going to be getting, minus one thing that I just put in here, right? So I put a particle system in here from another project that I have that we may or may not use in this. Okay. So basically it's just a little locomotion system that's using the Lyra animations, and I rigged it up to where you can press the G key and you can switch between the male and the female mannequin, and you have basic locomotion, right? So your character can go in all directions, right? We hold down left shift and that lets the character sprint in all directions. Okay. And we got a jump integrated into this. We have a turn in place, right? So when the character reaches a certain degree, he kicks in this little janky turn in place animation that I rigged in here. We also have a crosshair, okay? And if you press your Q button, you can cycle through all the animations that are implemented in here. So we have the full range of motion for unarmed, running and walking, And if you press your Q button, you go into the rifle animations with an aim offset, a 2D aim offset, and that has movement in all directions. And when you run, you know, of course, he puts the gun down and you got all directions. And then if you press the Q button again, you cycle into the pistol animations. Okay. And also same thing. You can run and walk in all directions. And that goes for the male and the female, right? So the female also has all those same motions and stuff. Okay. All right. And that's it, really. And once again, we have this little crosshair. And I had put in some weapon firing logic into this, but I unhooked it and took the weapons that was in this project. I took them out because they're not mine, right? So, you know, it's not ethical for me to use content packs in this project and either distribute it for free or resell it. And it's not mine, right? So even though the pack that I had put in here is completely free on Unreal Engine's YouTube or Unreal Engine's marketplace, I still can't ethically leave that in here and give it to you guys. So I took that out. But I did leave in all the logic that we had built so far, okay, for the weapon firing. So the person that made the contribution, he made a fairly significant contribution. So in other words, it was more than $10. So it might be a couple videos that I make for this. And he, once again, didn't specify what he wanted me to add. He just wanted to see me add more to it. Like, okay, well, we've got this, now what? And all the stuff that I've done so far replicates, right? So it's all multiplayer. Even though there's no menu, there's no way to host a game or anything like that. Currently, Steam is broken anyway. So the only way that you could do that would be to use Epic Online Services, and I've never fooled with that, and I don't really intend on it. However, with it being replicated and all the things that we do being replicated, if you guys on your own want to build your menu system, either using the Advanced Sessions plugin or Epic Online Services, you should be able to go in there and add that to this, and everything that we've done so far and everything that we continue to do will work, right? Like, you know, it's multiplayer, so it will work. It just doesn't have the front end, is what you call it, the menu system and all that stuff. So I think what I would like to probably do first is get a weapon back in here to go with the weapon logic that I've already put in here. I mean, you know, we need that, right? Because this is meant to be a shooter, I guess, a third-person shooter. So we need to get some weapons and stuff back in here and finish that up before we even contemplate doing anything else. So what I think I'll do is now, once again, you guys will probably have to come up with your own weapons, right? Because I cannot distribute this using anything that is not mine. But what I think I'll do here for this demonstration probably is use one of my products called TPS. So I sell this on the marketplace. A lot of you guys have already bought this, and I appreciate that, by the way. This multiplayer TPS basic, I think I'll just rob maybe a gun and a pistol and maybe some effects out of here, because these are mine and I can use these. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll create a project here, and we'll go in here and poke around and see if we can't get a gun, some muzzle flashes and stuff like that, and we'll put that in here to use, and we'll get this gun shooting again. How about that? And also, guys, let me say this too. There's a very fine line that I have to walk between how much do I show you guys how to build for free, how much do I give you guys away for free, versus the things that I'm selling on the UE4 marketplace and my Udemy course, right? So it's a strange situation to be in that I'm in, right? So if I show you guys how to make, you know, my multiplayer TPS basic, well, then there's no reason for you to go buy it. Okay. If I show you guys how to do all the things that I cover in my Udemy course, well, then there's no reason for you guys to go buy the Udemy course. So I have to be very careful about what I show, what I don't show, what I give away for free, what I don't give away for free. I'm sure you guys understand. And listen, guys, I like free stuff too. But at the end of the day, everybody has to make a living. Okay. And so there you have it. Okay. So let's open up this multiplayer TPS basic and let's see if there's some guns or something in here that we can use that are mine and I don't have to worry about, you know, getting through up under the federal prison for pirating assets or whatever. Let's see here. Meshes. No, it wouldn't be in there. It would be, where the hell would it be? I guess it would be under weapons. That'd be a good place for it, wouldn't it? Meshes. Yeah, so we got some stuffs in here. We have this little assault rifle. We got a shotgun. We got a pistol and an SMG. I think we'll take the rifle and the pistol. So let's go to asset actions, migrate. I think that's all we need. We will put that in my documents, Unreal Projects, TPS starter, content. We will say select folder. Okay, and then there is probably the miscellaneous FX. What do we got in here? Articles. So we've got some explosions. Let's see, we got an assault rifle flash loop. We've got assault rifle impacts. You know what? Why don't we just take the whole damn folder? All right, and what's under the audio here? Yeah, we're going to take the whole audio folder. And that will go here. And we're going to take all the FX too, even though we may not use them all. We will take them anyway. Okay. Uh-oh, some files were not copied successfully. Oh shit. That's not a good sign. Already screwed up. So now let me go back in this project in here and we will see if we can't. I can delete this particle systems folder because that is only got a beam in it, and that FX thing that I just brought in from my other project, it already has all that. So under weapons, we need to make a new folder in here called blueprints, and we will put that master weapon blueprint in here. And then we will take these materials and meshes, and we will just drag that down here and move it here. And then we will take the audio and we will pull that up here and drop it on the content folder. And we will take the FX and do the same thing. And let's fix up redirects. And then we can get rid of this folder here. Okay. So now we actually have some. Wait, what the hell? That's the skeleton. That's the mesh, and that's the physics assets. Okay. So we have this assault rifle, and we have a pistol, and then we have some particle effects and some sound effects. So that should be enough for us to make stuff. Okay, so we need to get the weapon back on this character, right? That's what we need to do. So in the weapons blueprints, let's open this back up and let's put that mesh back in here. So if we look in the viewport, we don't have a mesh here. And now that we brought one in, we will put in the assault rifle out of my other project. Okay. And now we need to go back into the character blueprint and hook all that stuff back up again. Okay. So we unhooked all this fire weapon stuff. So let's hook this back up. And event begin play needs to be hooked back up. And this needs to be hooked back up here. Compost it and save it. And then we need to change his animation set from unarmed back to rifle by default. And now if we spawn in here, look at that. We got the rifle back and we can shoot again. How about that? So let's open up the animations here and see if this weapon's lined up or not, right? So remember, we had to adjust some sockets and stuff like that. So let's go back in here and let's just open up the let's see, if we was just to open the male center idle. Jesus Christ, there's so many animations in here. Center down, center right here. So if we open this up, pause this, and then we find that socket that we put on here, wherever the hell that is. Oh wow. This thing's already got some sockets on it by default. I know we put a socket on here. And it ain't weapon or muzzle either. Oh, here it is. Rifle hand walking. Rifle hand jogging. We should probably just open them, right? Like not try to do it via the aim offset. We should actually open the rifle rifle jog, no, walk forward, right? That's what we should do. We should open this and then pause this one. And now we can go look, right? Because we had to do some weird stuff in here for walking and jogging. So we're going to right click the hand walking, and we're going to add a preview asset, and this will be the rifle. Yeah, that's exactly right. That. And let's slow this camera down a tad, and let's go in here and look and see if this is even remotely lined up. Nope. So let's try to line this up some. Let's change this here from object to world, and we'll raise this up. Move this forward an inch, and then let's rotate it down. Without the snaps would probably be best, so let's turn off those. Let's pull this down. And this is actually supposed to be a male character, so okay. You son of a... I'm having all sorts of complications here. Yeah, do that. There, that looks pretty even. And that left hand, we adjust that with that fabric node. So let's go into the animation blueprint. We'll get moving here in a minute. I just want to get this back to what it was before we dicked it up. Okay, so let's go back here. This fabric node is what we're going to be adjusting, but we need to change him over to the rifle animation. And let's go over here and see what we can do. Yep. Let's pause this animation, and if you select that fabric node, that's what gives you this gizmo here where you can do that kind of stuff. Move that hand around a little bit. Hard to do this shit in this little window. I think we'll probably just roll with that. I don't know, it looks like it's kind of... Well, hell, it don't matter. I'm not going to get this perfect anyway. Never happened. That's good enough for what we're doing. Now that left hand, once again, this really needs IK for the weapon. And I have never, ever set up IK in my entire life. So I don't know how to do it. But what you guys should do is find a tutorial somewhere on how to set up IK on the arms of this character. And that'll probably make your life easier when it comes to making sure that the hands always stay on the characters. Even when they're running. See how that left hand's kind of coming off? Yeah. So there you have it. Okay. So now let's get some sound effects and some particle effects flying for this weapon. Okay. That's the whole point of why I brought all that stuff in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the master weapon blueprint in here. And we are going to open this thing and let's pick up where we left off. So all we did was put in the tracing system. That's all we did for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to right mouse click and we're going to create a custom event. And we're going to call this server shoot info. And this is in fact going to be set to run on the server. And we're going to pass through this data that's collected by this second trace that we're doing in here. So we need a hit result and a Boolean input on this. So we're going to add two inputs. And the first one is going to be called hit result. And we're going to change it to the type hit result. And then this one, the second parameter, we're just going to call this hit. And that will be a Boolean variable. So let's go ahead and compile and save that. And then we're going to call that right here after this other trace. Server shoot info. And then we're going to pass through these hit results and this hit like this. And then that gets us to right here. Okay. Now, for now, we're not going to put anything here. Okay. So we're going to take this and we're going to hit Control D to duplicate it. And we're going to call this one multicast. Weapon FX. And we need to change this here to be multicast. Okay. And we shall compile that and save it. And we're going to call that one right here. So we're going to say multicast weapon FX. And then we're just going to plug these two in like this. Now, the reason this is here, just to be clear here, so that you guys don't think I'm losing it, this is where you would deal damage, right? And this is also where you would spawn a projectile, right here, in between this and this. But since we're not doing that right now, we're just going to skip it. And we're going to come down here to the multicast part, okay? Because this is where we're going to do the muzzle flash, the sound of the firing, and the impact effects. That's what we're going to do right here. All the weapon effects can be done on this one single multicast, okay? So first we're going to spawn sound attached. That's what we're going to do first. And the attached to component is going to be the mesh of the gun. So we'll drag that in like that. And I'm pretty sure we don't need to change any of this stuff. This will just attach it at the root. But I suppose you could, yeah, we'll just leave it like that. And then we're going to plug in a sound effect. And we need a single fire sound, right? We don't need nothing looping at this point. We just want a single fire sound. And I don't have any idea what I have in here. We got a pistol fire, but that's not technically what we're looking for. Let's do this one. Sniper rifle fire. Let's put that one in there. And theoretically, we should have it playing a sound already. Perfect. Okay. So the next part of this would be the muzzle flash, right? So this would be spawn emitter attached And we will plug this in here. The attached to component is still going to be the weapon mesh. And we need to go make sure that these have a socket on the meshes, right? So let's open this rifle up, and we have one called muzzle socket. Okay. So that's the name that we need to put right here. Muzzle socket. And we're going to say snap, what is it? Snap to target, keep world scale. And we will compile that and save it. And we should have a muzzle flash at this point. I don't see one. Do you? Oh, we didn't plug it in, did we? Yeah, you got to kind of put the emitter in here, right? So this would be, well, we'll just do the sniper rifle. I probably should have brought in the sniper rifle mesh from that, but that's okay. This is placeholder stuff. Shotgun, SMG, sniper rifle, muzzle flash. That's the one we'll use. I think we got a muzzle flash now. Look at that. And by the way, since this is multiplayer, I guess we should check. Let's set this to 2-player. Play as listen server. And advanced settings. We will set this to 720 by 512 as per usual. And then we will, let's see, new editor windows. And we will put client 1 on the right and the server on the left. And let's see what he sees. See the muzzle flash. Sometimes this is not shooting. What in the hell? Is it going to be that? Really? Fucking Unreal Engine 5. I tell you what. Okay, and it is replicating. See there, I'm squeezing the trigger and it's not shooting. Now it is. Now it's not. Okay, well that's a fucking problem. It's shooting the it's shooting the traces, but it's not firing the sound or the particle effect, which is fucking weird. But that's Unreal Engine 5, right? That's why I don't use these newer engine versions. Let me just go back in here and look and make sure that something ain't screwed. No, it's firing all that stuff, so... Oh, I know what it is. It's this, right? We delete this. We don't need to check if we hit anything or not. This is, if this trace hits something, we're selecting A, and if it doesn't hit, we're selecting B, which is fine, right? Because we still need it to fire. I bet that just fixed it. Bingo. Operator error. John Galt, you're an idiot. Yeah, well, sometimes it happens, guys. So I'm sorry for cussing Unreal Engine 5 out just now. Okay. All right. Moving right along. So now we got the sound effect playing. We got the muzzle flash playing. Now we need to spawn an impact sound and an impact particle, right? So we are, in fact, going to put a branch here this time. And we are going to check if this hits or not. And if it does hit, we're going to play sound at location. And the location is going to be, we're going to take these hit results right here, pull this over here, and we're going to say break. And we will break these hit results. Fold this out. And the location is going to be the impact point. And the sound effect will be the sniper rifle impact cue. And then we're going to spawn emitter at location. And this will be the impact point. And the rotation, we will take the impact normal and we will say make rot from Z. And that will be what we use for the rotation. And this will be the sniper rifle impact. And now we should have impact effects too. Them. And we'll alt tab just to make sure we're replicating. Perfecto mundo. Okay, so we can turn those tracers off now. We don't really need those anymore. So I'm going to come over here to where we're doing the trace. And we're going to turn the draw debug to none on both of these. And now we don't have those stupid red lines anymore. Okay, so now we're a little bit further than we left off before I remove them other weapons out of here, so that's good. So now where do we go? Where do we go from here? What do we do now? Well, that's pretty good, I guess. And I already put it to where we can't shoot when we're running. That's on purpose, actually. Okay. So, what do we do now? I don't know. Thirsting to death. Let's see. If we put damage in, well, then that means we're going to have to put in a respawn system, right? And once again, guys, there's a fine line I have to walk between what I give away for free and what I'm trying to sell, right? So this is not meant to be a tutorial series that shows you how to make a game from ground zero to finished product. So I don't know what to do now, right? Oh, put the pistol on and then do switching between the rifle and the pistol. Change it into, you don't come with a weapon, but you pick it up. You start unarmed and you find a pickup on the ground. See guys, how this just keeps spiraling out of control? One thing leads to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. I think what we could do is try to implement that laser beam, right? See, in some of these videos, guys, I tell you that a lot of this stuff that you see done is trickery, right? So you guys are full aware that this weapon that I have in here is a hit scan weapon. That's how it's currently set up, meaning it doesn't fire a projectile and it's an instant hit weapon, right? So as soon as you pull that trigger, regardless of how far away the distance is, it instantly hits, right? It's a hit scan. Well, there is no bullet that comes out of here. So what you could do is you could use what's called a tracer, right? To mimic a fake bullet, if you will. See, because there's no indication that anything is traveling from the muzzle of that gun to the impact point. See? So what you can do is put in a fake, right? You can put in a laser beam, and I don't know if I can remember exactly how to do this, so this might take some finagling. But there is in these effects that I brought in here, there is a janky laser beam in here that I made for something once upon a time. Do you see it here? And it's currently not looping. So it just draws the beam and it would stay forever and ever. So if we change this here, seconds here, to 1, does that make it last just 1 second? Seconds before inactive. No, I don't think that's what that is. There should be something in here about emitter loops. This is why I don't do particles, by the way. So let's see here. Where the hell is that? Required. Kill on completed. I know there's something in here about loops somewhere. Emitter duration. Emitter loops right here. So if we set that one to 1, does that make it? I don't see it looping. I don't see it looping. Do I not have one in here that loops? I guess not. I'm so good at particles. Nope. It literally is just that. Okay. Well, I suppose what I can do is delete this one and go get the one that I had in here. I brought it in here because it's looping. And I need a looping particle. So let me go see if I can find that one again. I think I got it out of here. It's mine, by the way, so I can put this in here. I just can't give away stuff that ain't mine. So let me go in here and I'll get one that's looping and not looping. That way, if I need one that's looping, I'll have it. And if I need one that's not looping, I'll have it. So we have this. And then we have this. Yep. So that's what we'll do. We'll take both of these. I'll take these two and migrate those into there. By George, we got one that loops now and one that don't loop. So we will. Oh, great. And it brought all that other crap with it. So that's fantastic. Let's see here. How can I do this without screwing everything up? Well, I know I need the particles. So we will take both of those and put them in here. And then if I look in the materials, there is a beam material. And there's one already in there. So what I will do now is delete this folder. I'm trying to keep this cleaned up so it don't get crazy. And it's going to say yes. And that's okay because I will put the one that's already in here back. Okay, so I'll force delete those. Then I will go in here and open this. And we need to set this. Oh, crap. Did I really just break the shit out of this? Where do I plug that material back in here? Right there. Right, so I just simply put the beam back. There we go. Hey, look at that. I know how to make these particles. Don't you mess with me. I know what I'm doing around here. Not really, but we got lucky. There. Now, what was I saying? Who am I? What are we doing again? Oh, yeah, that's right. We are going to try to get it to spawn a laser beam on this weapon. That's what we're going to try to do. So if we open this weapon back up, right here where we're doing our effects, so this is the sound, then it's spawning the muzzle flash, then we're doing the impact stuff. If we move this up a little bit here, and let's see, what would be the best way to do this? We need to well, been a long time since I set one of these up. I think we're going to have to create a component, or we're just going to have to add it to the weapon. Let's see, if we on emitter attached Can we do this? I don't know. We will see. And if we put in the tracer single, then we attach it to the muzzle, socket, and snap to component, keep world scale. Let's see if that at least spawns it. Let me go back in single player for this so I can see better. Shit, I can't tell if it's spawning it or not. Perfect. Let's go back into multiplayer so I can see if it's spawning this thing. Actually, you know what? Let's leave it this way and let's just change it to the one that's playing all the time. Right? So the loop. Yep, there it is. See it? Okay, so it is working. So let's go back to the single one. And now what we need to do is set the end point. Right? So if we take this and say beam, let's just type beam. Get beam end point, set beam end point. Okay. Set beam end point. And the new end point would be, if we take these hit results and break them, it would be the impact point, wouldn't it? So let's see. Oh, this is so much fun. Look at that. You see the beams shooting across? See it? And then if we go into two windows again, new editor windows, and that guy watches. See the beam? And we will take him. There you go. And that is how you fake a hit scan weapon having something actually coming out of the barrel. See that? Uh-oh. When we don't hit anything, look at the beam. See that? So we need to correct that. So we need to do a select vector here. Select vector. And what we need to do is we need to say, shit, let me move this down. See there how crowded this stuff gets already? Let me move this down. So what we need to say here is if this hit, take this hit here, put that in your select vector. If it hits, you pick the impact point, and if it doesn't hit anything, you just send it to the end of wherever the trace went. Okay? And that'll make it look like it's trailing off into the distance. So we shall now try that experiment again. How about now? There we go. And then when you hit something, it'll put it to wherever you hit it. You really can't see that beam, and you know what? That actually should probably mimic the same color as the muzzle flash. So this is muzzle flash in green. So probably what we should do here is go into that stupid particle, open this, and see if there's some way we can turn that thing green from whatever color it is. So initial color, let's just make it green, like wide open green. So 1, 0, and yeah, it don't look like it changed it. Oh, that's the module editor color. That go back, right? Like, why is that even changed? This is what needs to be changed right here. See how good I am at particle effects? I'm the master. Not. There we go. Then dark color, start alpha. What the hell is that? I think that's all we need to do right there. Just like change it green. How about now? Is it green? There we go. Perfect. You could probably make the beam fatter too. Like, I'm not a particle guy, just so you guys know. You guys have no idea how hard it was for me to create just a stupid little beam. And I made this thing, I don't know, probably 4 years ago. And I've been using that same shitty beam ever since. But I believe there is a way in here where you can take the size of this and, or like, see how it's 1.5. You could probably dick with these right here and make it fatter if you want to make a beam fatter. But I'm just going to leave it for what it is, right? I mean, it's just a little fake thing to make it look like something's coming out of the barrel. It serves its purpose. Okay. So there's that. Let's bring Chad. I see two peepholes showed up. So hello, Oni. What's happening? Hello, Robin. Watching you while playing Battlefield 2042 while I get inspiration and ponder elements of the game I am writing. It's Friday. Yes, it absolutely is Friday. Okay, so now what are we going to do, right? So the guy that made a contribution, he didn't really give me anything specific he wanted covered. He just wanted to see me add some stuff to this little template. So we got shooting back, which is a bonus. And if we put health in and damage, well, then the player is going to die. And then the very next question will be, well, now how do we make a respawn system? I've already covered respawn on my YouTube page, right? There's a video on my YouTube page where I cover how I done or do multiplayer respawn. So I guess what we could do is put in health and damage, and I don't know, maybe we will cover I don't know. It depends really on how many contributions come in, right, guys? The only way I make these videos anymore is if somebody's willing to pay for it. There's plenty of free stuff, right? And so with that being the case, if you want my specific take on something, it's going to cost you, right? Because otherwise, just break out Google, type in your search phrase, and hit go. And I'm sure you'll find a bunch of information free for what it is you're trying to do. Okay. Not trying to be a jerk about it, but you know, time is money, guys. And I have to make money when I do this. If I'm going to sit here for hours dicking around with this stuff. So we're going to put health and damage in, right? Because that's really at the end of the day, not hard to do. So we already have a UI in here that we put in at some point during the creation of this crappy little free template that I'm giving you guys. And we have this container here. So we need to right click here, create a user interface, and we're going to make a widget blueprint, a user widget, and we're going to call this WBP underscore health. Just like that. And we'll go build us a little crappy health bar and put in here. So we need a canvas. This is my least favorite topic too, by the way. Stupid UI. So we'll put a canvas panel in. And then we're going to put in a text. And we're going to put in a progress bar. Okay. And we will take the text. We'll move that down here. And we'll take the progress bar, move that down here. And we're going to make the text, we're going to name this health underscore TXT. And then we're going to actually make it say health space colon space. Just like that. And then we're going to name the progress bar to health underscore BAR. And then we're going to select the text and the health bar. We're going to right click and we're going to say wrap with horizontal box. And then we're going to take the horizontal box and drag it this way. And we're going to take the health bar and we're going to set that to fill. And then when you resize your horizontal bar, it'll resize the health bar like so. And we're going to drop that right there. And we're going to change the color for the fill here to green, right? Health isn't health green. So we will make that green. And compile that and save it. And now we're going to display it, right? Since we already created this container, we're going to open said container. And we're going to come over here under user created. And we're going to take the widget blueprint health, drag it onto this canvas panel and drop it. And then we're going to anchor that to the bottom left. Why is that up here like that? Like that shouldn't be. Something's foobarred here. My second least favorite thing to do is UI, right? And obviously you can see I've already got this fucked up somehow. So let's go back into the health bar and maybe that needs to be anchored to the bottom left as well. And then compile that and save it. And now let's go back in here, recompile that and save it. And it's still fucked up. Of course it is, because why wouldn't it be? So let's reset that. And that. And now let's see if we can wiggle this thing around to get it to be visible somehow. And I don't see a damn thing. So we've got something fucked up for sure. Well, this is going to be one of these videos where I get to sit here and go, well, how come that don't work? Well, how come that don't work? Well, why is that not working? All right, so let's go back into here and let's delete this, recompile that and save it. And we do got that anchored to the bottom left. Compile that and save it. And now let's try to add it back and see if that just magically fixes this somehow. Okay. Now let's anchor that. Actually, let's roll this out here. Pull this down just a pinch. I don't want to jack this up again because somehow magically it's back. Okay. There we go. And then we'll anchor that to the bottom left. And now let's actually drag it down here where we want it. Like so. Hey, look at there. Ain't that beautistical? And let's add a image to this canvas panel. And we will anchor that to the bottom left. And let's drag that down here. And let's resize it. Something like that. And we will call this background underscore IMG. And let's drag that to be at the top, right? So don't see how if you point in between the crosshair and the canvas panel, you get that little divider. Drop it there. And then let's change the color to black and set the opacity to 0.5. And then compile that and save it. And now magically we should have that displayed. Oh, look at there. Look at there. Beautiful. Hey, it worked. I'm shocked. Okay, so now we actually have to go into the character blueprint. So we got the bar to display. Now we actually have to add the variables to this character, right? So let's see here. This is event begin play. So let's just move this up a pinch. And we're going to create a variable here. And we're going to call this one max health. And we're going to change this over to be an integer. And we're going to create another one. And we're going to call it current health. And that is also going to be an integer. And the current health one, we're going to set to be replicated. Compile that and save it. We're going to add a sequence to this event begin play. Plug that back up there. We're going to add another has authority, switch has authority, and we're going to come out of this then one pin, and we're going to set the current health out of the authority to whatever we put in max health. Just like that. And we will compile that and save it. And for now, our max health, we're going to set to default to be 100. Like so. And now we need to go back into the health widget. In here. And we're going to take the health bar. And we're going to there's two ways that we could do this, actually. I don't know which way would be better. I don't know. I think we could. Let's do it. Let's just do it this way, right? So select the health bar. And for the percent right here, we're going to create a binding. And in here, we're going to do some stuff if I can remember how this goes. So this would be get owning player pawn. And then we are going to cast to the, well, see how you type in cast and it brings all the shit up? So I named that blueprint master character. So we're going to cast to the master character, like so. And we're going to check to see if this is valid. And then we need the, I'll get these backwards, I'm sure. We need the max. Let's just type health. We need to get the current health, and we need to get the max health. And once again, these will probably be backwards, and I'll have to fix it. We pull out of this and type divide. So we divide the current health by the max health. And duplicate this return node with Control D. And if this cast fails or this is not valid, we just don't put out any value. And I think that will work. So let's spawn in here and see if that's actually populated. Oh, look at that. We actually have health now. Unless it's backwards, right? And we won't find that out until we start dealing damage. And then we'll find out if it's backwards or not. Let's go back into this container. Actually, let's go back into this health bar. Not the event graph. We need to go into the designer. And let's make that a little bit bigger, right? So let's take the horizontal box and go. How about that? Is that big enough? I don't know. But that looked awfully small to me. Well, maybe it's just the stupid background image is too big. I don't know. Something looks out of whack there. And that is because I am excellent at UI, not. Yeah, that didn't make it any bigger, but we can shrink the background image. Fine, have it your way, Epic. I don't like your UI anyway. Well, that's pretty crappy. Trying to figure out why that's not bigger. It should be bigger, right? But it's not. I don't know. See? How come that's so much bigger, but it ain't showing bigger in the other one? I don't get it. I'll sit in here for 3 hours messing with that. Perfect. Ship it. That's as good as we're getting, okay? That's as good as we're getting. Okay, so now we need to make that gun hurt him when we shoot him, right? So we go into the weapons, into this master weapon blueprint. Remember that spot I told you we skipped on purpose? Right here, server shoot info. That is where we deal damage, right? So we right click and type apply damage. And we're going to do this. And then we're going to come out of that and go right back into here. And now we need some stuff, right? So we need to break these hit results right here. Let me move this up some. The damage actor is going to be the hit actor. And the damage causer is going to be self. Get a reference to self. That is this gun. And the instigator, we're going to pull out of that and type insta. If I could spell it, would be helpful. Get instigator controller. Okay. Just like that. And then the base damage, I'm just going to type in 10 for now. So every shot do 10 damage. So now that we've added damage to the weapon, now we got to give the character the ability to receive said damage. Okay. So to do that, we go back into the character blueprint in here. And we're just going to find a blank spot about right here. And we're going to type damage. And there is a event any damage node right here. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking the current health and we're going to be setting the current health. And we're going to math, right? Math is hard. So we bring back in another current health, get our current health, and we're going to take damage and we're going to, why did you do that? Do what I'm trying to do here. Type minus. So we're going to do subtract and hold down Alt and unhook that. The big number, which is your current health, goes on the top. The damage amount goes on the bottom, right? Like so. And then we're going to pull out of this and we're going to type truncate here. And we're going to clamp integer. And the minimum will be 0 and the maximum will be max health. So let's get this. And then we're going to do that. Okay. So that will make it where your health will never be able to go below 0. Okay. So it takes the amount of damage from the weapon, subtracts it from your current health, and then it clamps it so it will not go below 0. So let's see if I got those values backwards in that widget. So if I shoot him, you see the health bar on the right? It. And then if I Alt Tab and take this dude and shoot this dude, see? And then when the health hits 0, bang, you're dead. Cue ragdoll. Initiate respawn system, right? We're not doing that. Not in this video anyway, right? That's the kind of stuff that I do in my Udemy course, right? We take and build all these mechanics and get them all together. So every time you do something, you got to add more, and then you got to add more, and then you got to add more. See, we haven't put in, hit reacts, right? So when you get shot, your character's supposed to flinch when he gets hit. We haven't put that in. We haven't put in the firing animation. So when you shoot the gun, it's supposed to play an animation, right? So we haven't put that in. So there's still plenty to do, you know, but once again, I have to walk a fine line between what I show you guys how to make versus what I sell in my projects on the marketplace and what I have for sale on my Udemy course. You know, if I give all that stuff away for free, well, then nobody has any reason to buy any of that stuff. You guys see the dilemma. Okay, let me bring Chad over here. Nice. So these are parts of the files you posted. Yeah, that's what we started out with in this video. The one that I've got posted, the one that I've already done this stuff to just now in this stream, it isn't posted. It may or may not be posted at some point. I don't know. Okay, so we got health now, damage now. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we could add real quickly, because I'm about ready to end this stream here at this point. I think that we're going to call this a wrap. Because to add any more to this, I would have to, it would take quite a bit to add those animations in. And there would probably be some tweaking need to be done here, because you can see well, I mean, it kind of works. Third person is actually kind of hard to do because you get weird angles with stuff. See, what I was doing over here was seeing what it looks like when I'm standing behind him shooting. Watch the tip of the gun. See how it's like not shooting down at the ground, it's actually shooting. It's a weird angle. You see what I'm getting at? But what do you do? I mean, there's a way to solve that, but it takes a lot of work to solve it, right? So you guys remember when we set this weapon up in one of the videos quite a ways back, we put in 2 traces instead of just one. Well, there actually needs to be 3 traces, right? There needs to be 3. There needs to be one, another one, to get those angles where you don't get those weird angles. All we did by putting in the 2 traces is make it where you can't shoot around corners, right? That was the purpose of doing those 3 traces. But you still can get weird shot angles like that. So there would need to be another trace. Let's see. Where would we do that trace from? Let me just think here out loud for a minute, and we'll see if we can give you guys a pointer as to how you solve this, right? Because this is a problem, because that looks weird. This one, you might have to base this one on some sort of an angle, right? Like if your aim offset is a certain angle, instead of using the crosshair trace as the end point, you just do a trace straight out from the gun, right? See, because right now what we're doing in this weapon here is we're doing a trace from the camera, okay? That trace's sole purpose is to tell this trace where to go. Well, if your angle is greater than a certain degree, right, you need to not use this one as your endpoint. You need to use a different one as your endpoint, which is really coming straight from the gun, right? Straight out of the muzzle of the gun and just going straight forward. Okay? So I don't know, you know, but there has to be another trace done. And it has to be based on angles. Okay? Because otherwise you're going to get that weird shot angle. And there's really nothing else that you can do about it that I'm aware of except do another trace based on an angle. That's all you can do. See, because here's the problem. See, a lot of tutorials and stuff that you guys see, they don't do a trace from the camera. All they do is do a trace from the barrel of the gun and shoot it out into the distance. Well, the problem with that is you can't get that shot from the gun to line up with where your crosshair's pointed, which means you don't have any accuracy, right? And then on top of that, the animations, see, when you're playing your animation, the character's gun, you know, your animation's moving like this, right? And so if you're doing the trace from the muzzle of the gun, that means your shot is going to be moving with the animation. Well, hell, I can just show you guys what I'm talking about here. Hold on. It depends on how accurate you want your weapon to be. Like, if you don't give a shit, you can do a trace from the barrel of the gun and just be done with it. But let me show you guys the problem with that. So let's just open up this master weapon here. And what we'll do is we'll bypass this part right here. Actually, let's just hook this back up and we'll unhook this one. Okay. And what we'll do is, instead of doing the trace from the camera, we'll just get the weapon, right? And we'll say, get socket Wait a minute, maybe that's what it is. Aha, this is part of the problem right here. So that on this weapon is actually called muzzle socket. I'm sure that's not going to fix the problem, but let's just go see if that actually helped anything. Those names actually matter, guys, if you don't put the right damn names in, which I'm prone to do. I all the time misspell shit, but I'm sure it's still going to be doing that weird ass angle. Yeah, see? Okay. Now back to what I was trying to say a minute ago. So what we're going to do is, let's just duplicate this node. I'll show you guys the reason why I do this tracing system this way. So if we just take the muzzle of the gun and we use that as the start location, and let me turn this debugger back on too so that we can see what we got going here. For duration. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, right? Let's just see what happens. There's a reason why I've done it the way that I do it for so long. Let's just see. Okay, here it is. So we are doing a trace from the muzzle of the gun. See it coming out of the barrel of the gun, and it's going out a distance. But look at the crosshair, right? So I'm going to stand perfectly still and look at the crosshair. Look where the hit is versus where the crosshair is. See? It hit down here, but the crosshair is up here. See? Wait a minute. Maybe we should reverse that. Hold on here. We need it to go to where the crosshair is. Okay. Okay. Well, let's just sit here and debug this. Maybe we'll brush this up and make it better. So well, no, because if we reverse it, it's still going to be exactly the same damn thing, right? Yeah, I mean, it's still going to end up the same damn way, regardless of what we do. It's still going to give you that weird shot angle, right? Because right now we're starting at the muzzle of the gun and we're just going out a distance from the gun. So if we did a trace from the gun to where the camera hit, see, that's what we were doing right here, right? So we're getting the trace to go to the center of the screen, which is where the crosshair is. And then we're doing a second trace coming from the gun, going to where the center of the screen is. So reversing this shit up here ain't going to change anything. It'll still be the same exact thing, right? So there has to be another way to solve that. And I don't know what it is at this very moment, but this keeps you from shooting around corners. That'd be a good question for one of you guys to ask Epic. Well, I can tell you in that damn Libra project, you can shoot around corners. So they obviously don't know what they're doing, right? And let me show you guys what I'm talking about shooting around corners. If we take this camera, see this view, this is just the view that I like right here. Crosshair right above the character's head. A lot of you guys see people that set their third person stuff up with the camera off to the side or something like that. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So if I was to take the camera boom and we take the socket offset in the, which direction do we need to go? Wow, why is that so damn laggy just trying to scroll that value anymore? Ain't that some bullshit? Let's do 100. There we go. So if I move that over here, maybe shorten that to 150. Put it over his shoulder like this. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So if I do this, right, in that Libra project, you can shoot around corners. You can put your crosshair like that and shoot and still hit, see? But the way that I've got these two traces set up, you can see that the gun is hitting the wall, see? And in the Libra project, you can sit right here like this and shoot right around the corner, right? A lot of games do that. So I don't do it that way. But anyway, I could sit here and ramble all day about shooting mechanics, but you guys get the point. There needs to be another correction made for the tracing system to get it to where you can't do weird shots, you know, at an up-down angle. We took care of the left-right angle. That's what that second trace is for. The left-right angle is the one that we fixed. And that's for shooting around corners, right? But there needs to be one for the up-down, because when you're doing this, you get that weird... Actually, that's better. Whatever we just did, that's better. Maybe it's just shortening the damn camera boom, right? Let's go back in here and put the camera boom. Let's take that weird off angle off. Right, so let's set this back to 0. Now you ain't gonna be able to see shit, right? Because I got it right above his head again. Well, I don't know. Maybe the camera boom was just too long. Who the hell knows? Whatever. Hey, you have no health. Why are you not dead? Oh, yeah, that's right. Got to build the mechanics, right? Okay. Well, I think this is where we're going to end the stream at. So, that view ain't terrible. I don't know. People get mad at you over the view of the character. It needs to be higher up. No, it needs to be lower down. No, it needs to be over the right shoulder. No, it needs to be over the left shoulder. Right? I just put it here. Who cares? I don't care. I mean, do you really want to look at the crappy mannequin that bad? Right? I don't know. You guys can set your views up however you want to. But I think I'm going to end the stream here because to go any further than this will require more time than I'm willing to put in. So I do not know if I will be uploading this project or not. I may just leave it the way that it is and keep adding more. Like, we could do a grenade throw in one. That's something that you guys probably don't see covered very much. We could make it, I think there's an animation in here for that. We need to get the animations playing, so that could be part of a video to get the firing of the weapon animation playing and the when you get shot, a hit react, right? We could do that. This is a hit scan weapon. We could get it to spawn a projectile instead. That could be something that we could do. Anyway, what was I looking for? I was going to look to see if these animations have a grenade throw. I think they do. See, that would be under actions. Let's just type grenade. Oh, look at that. It does. It has a grenade toss animation. So we could get them to throw a grenade in one video, maybe. Yep. And then you could have videos about different types of grenades, right? Do you want to just have a grenade that you throw and it bounces for a second and blows up? Do you want to have a grenade that you throw and if you hit someone with it, it sticks to them, right? A sticky bomb. Do you want to have a grenade you could throw out that calls in a damn airstrike? So see there, guys, I mean, it depends on what kind of game you're building and what you want it to do. You can make this engine do any damn thing. It's just how much time, effort, and energy do you want to put into it. You can make it do anything. Anything you can think of in your head, you can make in this engine. With enough patience, know-how, and ingenuity. You can make it happen. Believe me, I've made some crazy shit in my duration of using this engine. You can make anything. You can make anything happen. All right. So with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I appreciate the guy that made the contribution. I hope this satisfies your contribution, right? You made your contribution. You told me to just add more. So I added more. We have more. And, you know, if there's any more contributions made in the future, always email me before you make your contribution, because like I said before, I may not want to cover it, or it's something I may have already done. Like right here, if you start right here, do what we did in this, and then go on my YouTube page and find the video I made about multiplayer respawn, right? You could add that right into this project. Just recreate it. And then you could do, you know, make it where when the character dies, he plays a ragdoll, then he respawns, right? You could do that by following that other video. So there's no reason to make another contribution for me to cover that when it's already covered. You just take what I did in that video and integrate it into this. All right. So with that, you guys have a good weekend. This is John Galt, and we will see you in another video in another time. Have a good one.